Hey folks, Temple here, and welcome to another Let's Talk. Today we'll be talking about Kickstarter games. Are they the next big thing, or are they doomed to failure? Let's find out. Now, as many will know, three certain titles have come up that have become successes in Kickstarters. Mighty Number 9, Ukulele I think it's called, and also Bloodstain. Now, as many will know from my previous video of Let's Talk, I talked about these three games being spiritual successors to Mega Man, Castlevania, Symphony of the Night, and Banjo-Kazooie. Now, the question we have to ask ourselves is this a risk of a burnout, or is this the start of a revolution? Well, in my view, there is a double-edged sword effect to this. Let's look at Mighty Number 9 for a second. As many know, 2 years ago, this came out and it caused shockwaves because everybody was happy to see this is the spiritual successor to Mega Man, the game that everybody wants to see have another go, but unfortunately it's had no luck. If you don't know why, check out my previous video. But the thing we have to ask ourselves is, after 2 years, is there still a hype for it that it was back then? The answer is sadly no. And the thing is, the problem with Kickstarter games is, when you kickstart them, you've got to wait for up to 3 years for it to develop. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like to see this game succeed and give the big finger to Capcom to say, you screwed up badly, you did not do what we asked. But in the same sense, you've got to keep people interested and motivated in this game, and the hardcore fans will be watching it like a freaking hawk and be judging it on its performance over its predecessor. But the thing is though, yet again, unfortunately guys, the casual market is the big market, and if you don't get them, then your game's either going to succeed or fail, and that's been a sad truth. I mean, let's think about it, right? Let's look at Blood Rain, right? It made well over 5 million in its Kickstarter, and it only asked for 500,000, but it made 5 million. Now, 5 million guys in the game world is paltry. It's literally a disaster. But in an indie world, that would be classed as a bit of success, depending on the rest of its sales when it fully comes out in probably 2 or 3 years time. So it really depends. Now, in an indie world, they would do well, but when you're trying to get this game to the mainstream market, like Mighty Number 9, we've not heard or seen any trailers, we've not seen any gameplay, unless you've gone to their website, which is cute tabs. But to be honest with you, if you don't show it to the mainstream market like YouTube, IGN, GameSpot, Rock Paper Shotguns, Rotten Tomatoes, if you don't show them off to these mainstreams for people to have a look at, then these games to me will only succeed in the hardcore market, and that's a very small market, unfortunately, and that's the sad truth. I mean, you might think, well, the hardcore market's huge. It's not. It's like the wrestling world. It's like a hardcore audience, right? For example, want someone like Daniel Bryan or Dolph Ziggler or Dean Ambrose to be champion, but 9 out of 10 it's usually going to go to John Cena, Randy Orton, or let's say, I don't know, Kane, because of the simple fact is, they are mainstream, they are well known by the casual Joe, and the hardcore audience who wants people like Daniel Bryan to be champion won't get a look in, which is a sad state of affairs. It's like the same game, and to me, I believe the Kickstarter games can be used as a great tool to have a games launch from there and make a massive impact, but they gotta really sell it to the casual audience. And if they can get a decent audience and a brand new set of audience, then I believe these games do well, and I hope they do well. But I pray that we don't have a burnout where loads and loads of companies and loads of developers go to Kickstarter to get their projects going, because we could end up with a massive blowout, and we could have certain games that people want to see do well, not to get their chance. And the problem with Kickstarter as well, guys, it's a double-edged sword effect, which means if it does succeed, great, but if it doesn't get off the ground, and you've just wasted all your money on a project that's just died. So it's really a game of chance with the Kickstarter. Anyway, that's my thought on Kickstarter games, and I do pray for these free games to succeed. I want them to succeed. But anyway, that's my thoughts on them. This is Black Templar sign off, and I'll see you in the next video. Catch you later.